Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Dr. Emery. He's a resident psychiatrist,
Yeah.
senior resident. He's on a rotation with the CAR 87. We're part of a program that includes Vancouver Coastal Health and the Vancouver Police. Okay? And what we do is we go to people when there's different reasons that come up. Every case is a little different, and we go to people to see them where they are, especially if there's been issues with trying to find them and talk to them. So in your case, I think you were certified under the Mental Health Act just, I don't know how long ago, but like maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. Were you aware of that? Dr. Taylor saw you in a cafe. She didn't certify you. I think you filmed part of it. And then she spoke with your family, got some more information, and, you know, you're going to have to turn that off.
So just one sec.
Yeah.
What the officer just told me is that, you know, you and I can set up a meeting and we can chat then. So why don't we do that, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not turning the camera off. I have a legal right to keep the camera on. If you don't want to make the appointment now, we can do it at another time. But you know, that's what the officer just asked that we do. So why don't we do that?
So I'm going to certify you under the Mental Health Act. We're going to bring you to hospital, do testing on you, and you're going to talk to a psychiatrist in a controlled environment because we don't believe that you're going to attend an appointment. You've been.
I won't attend. I've never been given a chance to attend an appointment.
So he's certified.
I've never been given a chance to attend an appointment.
Okay.
What is going on? I was never given a psych eval or nothing. He just looked at me and said, "You're certified."
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know why, but it's up to the doctor. So if you.
But no, he didn't even give me an eval. He just looked at me and said, "I'm certified, man."
I get that.
You know, please consider what you're doing, and please think about the fact that I'm more than happy to come in for an appointment. I'm happy to go through and do everything properly. Okay, I've been completely compliant with everything.
Yes, he's been really good with me, Nicholas. But listen, that's his call, and unfortunately, we can't
but
go back on that.
He hasn't talked to me.
Checked out by a doctor.
You're interacting with me at a very regular.
What's happening in Canada right now should fucking terrify you, okay? So I'm gonna make this kind of a TLDR, long story short. But so I saw there's this video of this guy, younger guy, pretty boy kind of looking guy, whatnot, doesn't matter. He's pulled over in Canada by the cops, right? And these cops are telling him that he's been flagged by a doctor that saw him at a coffee shop, okay? Some random lady doctor in Canada at some random coffee shop saw this guy. And something about this guy, I don't know how he was behaving, I don't know what he was doing in the coffee shop, doesn't really matter, I think. She was able to deem him in that visit to the coffee shop a mental health risk, right? In Canada, you know, there's a lot more talk about mental health going on right now, right? And I'm somebody who grew up in a very unstable, abusive environment, somebody who had a lot of issues and has had to and continues to, and, you know, will always continue to work on my, you know, some issues and stuff that like, you know, I have from my upbringing that I've developed through not having great examples, and maybe, you know, I've been directly taught some things by my childhood examples, whatever, right? And for a long time, very long time, you go back to the 1800s, every city had a mental health asylum, right? And there was all of a sudden, you know, these mental health asylums everywhere, and fucking child labor, you know, all these pictures of children showing up all across the country, like as labor, you know what I mean? Like, and, where'd all the fucking adults go, right? And so mental health has always been something that's very prominent in my life, right? And I'm a very big advocate for like presence and awareness that can help a lot in just maintaining your own mental health, okay? Anyways, there has been less of a stigma behind it. In fact, there's been more of an open dialogue about mental health over the last decade or so, which I'm all for, if it's genuine. Well, up until literally 10 minutes ago, I've been really on the bandwagon of, like, you know, mental health awareness, and people got problems, and instead of chastising them and fucking belittling and ostracizing them for their issues that they have and abandoning them, we should maybe be more open to hearing them out so we can better understand what maybe it is they're going through, and maybe we could come to a solution, or even if it's not a solution, a better maintenance of it, right? And so obviously to do that, there has to be an open dialogue of awareness driven about by people with mental health issues being open and honest and willing enough to talk about mental health issues. Now, again, I absolutely love that. And I want nothing more than for people to be able to discuss openly and freely things that they don't know if are normal or not in their head. Like, how do you know if you can't talk about it and get a fucking comparison or like talk to a professional or, you know, aren't immediately deemed crazy if you might have something going on in your mind that isn't in alignment with what the status quo is, which, I mean, that whole fucking paradigm is shifting now too. So what do you even define as mental health? What do you even define as normal, right? Is normal even a thing, or is normal a psyop? Because you could take 100,000 people that are in the same economic situation, but if you asked every single one of them why they are in that situation, you're going to get 100,000 different reasons. And sure, 10,000 might sound similar, another 10,000 might sound similar, another 10,000 might sound similar, and then you got 50,000 people who fucked off their shit. Can you really call anything normal? At that point, wouldn't normal be being the person who fucked everything off, right? Like, wouldn't that be the normal? To get normal, I guess, is what the question I'm asking is, to get what normal would be, wouldn't you have to take a test amount of a subject, add up the total, and then divide it by how many different outcomes there are, and essentially, and see which outcome provided the most results? And then wouldn't one of those have to be over 50% of all other combined outcomes combined? Like, wouldn't that be what you would have to classify as normal, right? Fucking rambling. But so Canada, this guy gets pulled over, is told that 3 weeks ago he was observed at a coffee shop talking about, or some fucking psychiatrist, like licensed like doctor in Canada, observes him, sees that he is displaying signs of being mentally unwell, having mental health problems. So doesn't approach the guy whatsoever, like at all. Instead, somehow, I don't know if she, like, maybe she took pictures of this guy, ran him through some sort of fucking facial recognition, which honestly, if you own a subscription to a reverse image generator, isn't that hard to find out who a person is or where the fuck they come from, i.e. who their family is, right? This person gets in contact with their family, asks their family some questions, right? Probably some loaded questions that are designed to elicit a certain response, because this is a healthcare professional in Canada, you know, probably works for the government. Healthcare's free in Canada. So asks certain probably baited questions, gets the responses she's looking for, because the questions are designed in a way to fucking elicit those responses. And now she gets confirmation that this person, she essentially, right, what she says is, I am diagnosing this person as mentally unwell. What the fuck does that mean? What mental illness are you diagnosing this person with? Nothing. Nothing. He's just not normal. He's just mentally unwell. Okay? And this fool, I don't even know what fucking ended up happening in this traffic stop. He was on the phone, like, talking to somebody, saying, like, yeah, this cop is telling me I need to go with him. So the cop he was detained. I wouldn't say maybe arrested, but the end result of what the cop was seeking to do with this individual was, since this individual was deemed by a licensed medical health professional to be mentally unwell, this person was flagged, put into essentially like an APB system like you'd have here in the United States. I don't know if they have a fucking all points bulletin in Canada. I'm sure they got something of the sort, right? But essentially something like that he was put into for, I don't know, fucking crazy fucking people like me or whoever the fuck else, right? And then I'm going to get back to how dangerous the idea of something like this as an actual law and a system that we follow is. And how I'm going to do that is through history. Just a quick explanation, but so the end result was this person was being detained or secured by the police officer, and that police officer is tasked with taking this person to a authorized facility to have him further evaluated mentally to see exactly what the scope of his mental illness is, right? And that's in Canada. That's about as close to the United States as you can get, besides Mexico and fucking, all the fentanyl we get from there. I used to love that shit. Don't get me wrong. It almost killed me, but fuck, goddamn, this sets a dangerous precedent on either side of the spectrum, right? We don't have anything like this yet. There's 5150 laws, which in some cases are fucking necessary here in the United States. Like, let's not get that shit twisted, right? But this thing becoming normalized will for sure kill the willingness of people to openly discuss these things in their own personal sense and, therefore be willing to get help, because for God forbid you get flagged as mentally unwell, or, you get diagnosed as bipolar or fucking schizophrenic. And, essentially it's like having this label over you. Like you don't know if this gets logged into some system. Like, we don't fucking know what the fuck really goes on here in the United States anymore either, Like, AI is becoming the fucking captain of the ship here, right? All across the world. Maybe AI could help us. We wouldn't have this problem. I asked a 61-year-old man, I showed him an AI video. He was like, man, that AI is crazy. He's like, how did I do that shit? Is that real people like acting there? I'm like, that's an AI video of fucking me. Like, I don't even use AI. Somebody sent me that shit. My father-in-law. I'm like, that's the ignorance level that people of a certain age and above have towards something as common as AI now, right? Like it's scary, right? And that is sadly the type of ignorance that is like praised. Like, that's the sort of shit that like the people in charge want. They want you to be able to be fooled that fucking easily, because then you'll just fucking go along and accept everything that they fucking throw at you, like every bill that's designed to fucking fleece you of everything you have, right? Fucking take away like your rights, like, show you why you shouldn't believe in who fucking Jesus Christ is or whatever. Because let's talk about now what those, fucking a lot of those mental asylums back in the 1800s were filled with, and even in the early 1900s and fucking up until like 80, 90 years ago, religious people, not just like fucking fanatics and like, you know, extremists and like very, very orthodox, like religious. I mean, like people who would even mention like the belief they have in their God or Jesus Christ. Like a lot of people that were just religious, that believed in something other than the system were fucking locked up in these places, right? And with the way things are going, you know, is that something that isn't possible to happen again, right? Like, is your diagnosis for bipolar not just an easy means to one day, once there's so many people and there's so many controls in place, say that you are unwilling or unable to be made to fully comply with the rules and regulations of society, and then you have to be placed somewhere? And then you have all these things like these data centers, right, that are fucking being essentially pushed. Like yeah, you've got the public fighting back the best they can in some of these places that are getting fucking forced this down their throat. But it's like, you look at how the construction of these AI data centers, and like, man, that fucking lady looks evil. I've never seen that lady before, and I've never seen a lady that old walking that fast. What the fuck? That was fucking weird, dude. Anyway, she just knocked on a random open door right now. Fucking, it like froze my camera for a second. Not her, but I'm just saying. Fucking, that was weird. These AI data centers are these big monolithic structures that are sucking every fucking ounce of like energy that they can, you know. There's one that's being proposed that's supposed to take 9 gigawatts a year to operate. You know how much fucking power 9 gigawatts is? Seriously. I built 2 solar fields in the last 2 years. One of them was 530 megawatts. The other one was like 580 up in like Kern County, California, I'll say. And combined, both of those projects for the steel portion, the ironwork portion that I built, was about a year and a half worth of steady, like, overtime work that I had, right? Like, fucking make great money out there. And all of that work, that there was probably consistently about 400 to 600 people building the infrastructure to generate 1 gigawatt total of power. All that year and a half worth of work, 400 to 600 people building a solar field as efficiently as they fucking possibly can. We built the infrastructure and ability to generate 1 gigawatt of power over 18 fucking months of solar power. And this solar plant, I'm not shitting you, the square foot, like, I couldn't even tell you, like, I should probably just put in a clip going across one block of like what one completed little block of solar panels looks like. And it looks big in a video of a person driving by it, but to somebody who's been there and built it all, that's one of hundreds and hundreds of these fucking blocks arranged into a configuration to soak up as much fucking sun power as possible. And it's like 10, 15 degrees hotter in just that area, that whole area of Mojave, because there's that much fucking solar power being fucking dragged down. And that whole fucking area, right? This is the place with the highest concentration of fucking green energy, right? Solar panels and windmills combined as a unit, like not really as a unit, but in that whole area in the world. It's considered the green energy capital of the world, Kern County, California, the southern part of it specifically. Tons of windmills, south of Tehachapi, fucking all that solar power. I would estimate maybe generates 9 gigawatts of fucking electricity. One data center in Utah that's been proposed. One fucking data center's worth of power, right? 9 gigawatts. And that's the entire solar and wind infrastructure that's been built in Mojave, California over the past, like, I'm not kidding you, like 10 fucking years. Okay? Like, I don't think there really is an understanding of just how much it takes to make that much energy, right? But like, that's just the mechanism. This AI is the mechanism by which to further mystify everybody into being these crazy people, you know? And then fucking just the older generation that just believes everything they're told, they're just going to believe whatever the fuck they're shown. So it serves 2 purposes. And then 3, it sucks up all the resources and makes everything more horribly expensive for the average person like me and you to survive. 4, so now we're renting everything we fucking want, even $98 a month for 6 fucking pairs of clothes, like this new fucking.com app or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it's called. All I know is I saw a commercial that was offering to rent you 6 fucking outfits for $98 a month. Isn't that fucking madness? And like, all that energy that's being consumed right now isn't going to continue to be consumed, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. Eventually, it'll have served its purpose. AI is already making people stupider by the minute. People are delegating all their fucking thinking to this outsourced fucking mechanical data collecting fucking and computer generating fucking response driven machine and fucking demonic presence. And people are just fucking either praising it, falling for it, or losing their jobs to it. Like, there's nothing good anybody gets out of it except for the people who are fucking purporting it and the legislation that's passing it. Everyone's a victim to it. And if anything, this might just be the infrastructure for our future fucking mental asylums. These giant fucking massive facilities that are capable of generating all this power. And once they take all the power and they fucking drain the land of all the people that aren't able to afford to live on it anymore, or they're too close to a data center and they fucking physically can't, and they're going to have some ways to go. Well, to force them to get locked up into it, we might have to deem them as crazy. And if they're not willing to believe AI, maybe that's just enough. Or if they believe in God still, they're definitely fucking crazy, because we're gods. That's what these fucking rich and powerful people, that's the idea. It's always been the idea. Since motherfuckers were getting locked up in loony bins for believing in God in the 1800s. It's always been the idea. It's never changed. Just don't let your fucking faith and your conviction in your Lord change. Don't let your belief in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ fucking, or your own ability to fucking provide and answer and solve problems in your life for yourself. Don't be fooled that you aren't able to. Even if you can't financially, I get that shit. I understand. But you better believe that if I had not $0 fucking dollars, I have a massive amount of fishing gear, survival food, bunch of shit. I need always enough gas, even if there's no gas in the car. I have enough gas on hand to where I can get to the fucking wilderness and I will catch a fucking fish. I will shoot a fucking an animal, you know. The problem is with that is there might be fucking super fucking engineered ticks all over it. That might be trying to kill me too. But you might be crazy for believing that, even though it's all over everything you see. And it's just weird how history seems to repeat itself. No matter how much everything changes, there are some fundamental things that will always stay the same. And the persecution against the masses, the people like you and me, in favor of the few, the 0.01% that are in charge, that hold all the cards, that will never fucking change. That will always be here. And it's because we are God's people and they are the devil's. And this is the devil's fucking playground. And they're just trying to play with us. Don't let them win. Love you guys. Take it easy.